Blacksmith Simulator. So Blacksmith Simulator just launched as well. I think this was January 30th this came out. Now they're saying it's a full release. Is it a full release? Doesn't feel like a full release. I mean, it feels like a full release in the sense of like the game works and functions, but the optimization and the amount of time you're doing things, it really seems like it's not set up to be a full release. But we'll take a look at it. So pretty much, you know, you're going to be able to run anything on here. It does run on Steam Deck, but these games do not support controller right off the bat. So a lot of them don't. Some do. Some of the bar ones we've seen, like Tales and Taverns and stuff like that, they run. They're pretty good. Now this one looks pretty decent in terms of it, right? I've already done a lot of like smithing and stuff like that. You have to unlock your different components though, like the grindstone, for example. Like I don't have access to the grindstone right now. So I can't actually use that to like perfect my blade or like make the perfect blade. So you have to get enough, number one, ore and ingots, right, to be able to do it. And then you got to have enough gold. The problem is with this one, like I decided to make life a little bit easier in the game and less like mundane and manual. So I spent the time and money and effort to make this winch work to be able to go down to the mine. But that took all the gold, and making gold in this game is very tedious. It takes a long time. And my issue with these are when a player is playing this type of game, if it's something like you've got to look at, like I'm spending 2 hours of my life just trying to get 200 gold to be able to open up one other thing that will allow me to make like 4x that or 5x that, then I think it's a bad game decision, right? To have people just sitting there like grinding away. We're not talking about grinding in a good way. We're talking about like grinding for hours just to come down here, which is kind of cool though that they made this. I will give them that. But to come down here and like be able to mine for ore, right? Get your ore. You can only carry one ore at a time. They don't give you a bag, at least as far as I know. So I have to, unless I have that winch running, I have to walk this all the way back up. And then I can do something fun with it, right? Like I have to go all the way up and down every time, unless I want to spend the money to make the winch system work, which is what I chose to do. We'll go in here. Now, when you do get the ore, you get like access to some tools. So you have your smelter here, you have your furnace, and you have your iron anvil or whatever, your anvil that you can work on. And there's a couple other things that you can start up. Like I think you get the water barrel as well. Now life, and I will agree, life is tedious, but real life can be a lot easier than some things in like these games, right? So we'll throw the smelter and we'll fire it up. Let's see, we need to, so then you have to lock into the smelter or whatever you're working on. And then you have to like, you know, do the specific event to be able to make it work, which is fine. The smelters and the furnaces and the building of the iron, like the swords and stuff like that is not the issue. If you remember, we played Chocolate Factory Simulator, what, a couple Thursdays ago? That one didn't have you having to go like up and down and only be able to carry one thing. You could carry multiple things with you. Now, is that realistic? Depends, right? It depends on how much you actually are carrying. I'm not asking to carry a ton of stuff. So we do have to grab this with our tongs. So now we have our ingot. We can do whatever we want with the ingot. So if we want to, for example, I've just thrown a bunch on the table. But if we want to actually see and make a sword, so now we can make long swords. We've unlocked that. So eventually you have to get to this point where you can do like a precision game mechanic, like a quick time event essentially. And you have to be able to do this within the time that the iron is hot, for example. There we go. So we got the main part of the sword. whoops. Let me go back. I got to grab it because it's too hot. There we go. And then, for example, we had to build the oil barrel, right, for this game. So, Ari, thanks for subscribing. That might be on YouTube. Or was that, that might have been on Twitch. Oh, you did. Thanks for the Twitch Prime subscribe. I will put the, did I take the one? What was the game that was won already today? Give me 1 sec. I owe you those 20 casts beyond that one. Sable. I didn't take Sable out. Give me 1 second. I'm going to take that out because that one was already won. But then I'll do the, whoops, wrong thing. I'll do the cast for you. So give me 1 sec. That's wrong. This one. This one. There we go. Give me 1 sec here. But yeah, thank you for the Prime subscription. And like I said, if you want, at any point in any game day, you can just say, hey, I want to see that on the Steam Deck. Just type ! Steam Deck. And we will flip over to the Steam Deck and take a look at it, either in the real view or the direct capture. So members and Twitch subscribers actually get to do that. Let me see. There it is. Sorry, I was trying to find it. So that was Sable that was won earlier. I just want to make sure, because I don't think I have an extra, I might have an extra copy of that. There we go. Now that's out of there. Okay. And let me queue up those for you. There we go. Give me 1 sec. Good luck. All right. So as I was saying, with the oil barrel, you had to build it. So you had to go get like X amount of ore from down in the mine, bring them up one at a time. Then you had to get like some iron ingots or stuff like that. And then you have to have like 20 gold, right, to be able to unlock it. So once you unlock it, you can temper. It's too cold to temper it now. So let me go back over here and heat it up. And that gives you a better like price on what you can charge for your sword, right, in that sense. So we're going to let this heat up. Let's go up by, I think we got to go up to 200, roughly. It should tell us, like it's underheated right now, so we got to go up a little bit more. There we go. Now we're at the perfect heat. And this was like in the chocolate game, the Chocolate Factory Simulator, right? Similar stuff like that. There we go. Now we can temper it. And what do we have to do? We have to... There we go. And now we can drop it in the water. Cool it down. Now, the thing about it is you got to go get the water too, and I'll show you that as well. So let's put this on the anvil. Now, we do have to put the grips on it and all that, but the water is an interesting thing here because you do have this, but again, I don't have the stuff to build the well, so this is something that I have to go kind of do, and I need silver, which I need to build a bigger mine, so I need to blow up the mine a little bit more. But there is a way to get water here. Here comes a guy wanting to order a sword. And the water from the well is like right here. There's Biggs. We just found Biggs again yesterday when we shut down. And then you got to take your water back into your bucket so you can use that to like cool your metal down. You can just let it cool down on its own. I don't think it has anything to do with like, is it going to make a better sword, right? It's just you can do it faster. So I think that's a possibility. The bucket is full. It is not full. Wait, what? There we go. So that's kind of a process that you got to do as well. But here's the other thing that I didn't like about this. I think at some point, this is why I don't think it's a finished game. This unlocks. Now, it's not selectable. You can't even see it or anything like that. So I think at some point you can do the woodworking. But right now, I can't do woodworking, so I got to go all the way down. So what I ultimately ended up doing was just kind of jumping off this edge. So I didn't have to go back and forth. There's no damage, right? And it made it a little bit faster. But this is the guy that you actually get to talk to buy the different blades, swords, handles, things like that. So you always have to have enough money to be able to buy stuff. If you don't, you can also sell stuff. Sorry, was my phone ringing? I think it was. I think if you run out of money, you can ultimately sell to this one guy walking around. Here he comes. Like if I go in there and I like mine the ore or stuff like that, or I make ingots, I could sell it to this dude to make some money. So you're never really out of money. Plus, if you need to, you can go hunt animals. Again, all of it's very tedious, like really tedious. And for the amount of gold that you get, it's very, like the economy seems like it's a little out of whack. Because if you sell an ingot, which does take some time, you only make like 6 gold versus just digging them up, which is 2 gold, right? So you're probably better off to like just go in and mine, dig it up, wait for everything to refresh, mine again. Hours, we're talking hours, you would be doing the same thing, which is not probably the best, oops, I got to put it back in, best use of anybody's time and not getting much progress. So, as you can see here, what we can do, need to hammer on the guard. So it's basically a, there we go. It's basically like a quick time event, right? Or a targeted event. Whoops, I missed. There we go. And then I can, oops, put the handle on. And then we can do the pommel, I think it is. There we go. Now, the sword is pretty much done. So you can sell it, but if you had the grindstone, you'd be able to do this. I can't do it right now, so you can't get 100% on the sword itself. But then you just drop it in the box out here. Oh, wait, nobody asked for one. That's a problem. I just started making one, so... can I... Here, I can put it here. There. Which... you would kind of think it would sit down in, so I don't really think it's a finished game. It still feels like it's very early access. But then talking to guys, here's your new order. So it's just a continuation of that, right? It does unlock different things. If we wanted to, we could go down and hunt. We do have our own sword. I'll send this down too. There we go. You know, the other thing about it is the cart and the elevator, you can actually like put 5 ore on, so it's a little bit less going up and down the steps. Let's jump off. There we go. And here we can hunt and then sell to this woman here. And the hunting's not the most amazing thing. Like the deers just kind of stand there and wait for you to kill them. I think there would be something here, but it feels very unfinished for a full release. So you can get money that way too. But yeah, like I said, it's very like little bits of money at a time. If you're not making swords at 100%, Oh man, you are like barely making any money at all. You're making like 2 to 3 gold for all that time that it takes to put a sword together. If you do it at 100%, you're actually making like 30 gold. So then it's very realistic, right? It makes it feel much better. But you can't expand the mine, but like expanding the mine is 500 gold that way. I think you can do it over here as well. Maybe there's another spot you can expand it. And it's like 1200 gold. I think maybe once you get past that point, it's 1200. So while I'm not against like these types of games, I think that they need to have like a little bit more polish to be able to compete with things like that Chocolate Factory Simulator, which, obviously you may not want to make chocolate, but it's a much better game. It's done very well. Yeah, you can see we can just sit here and mine. Oh, there we go. But they do run on like the Legion Go, and I think this one did run on Steam Deck because I think that's where I initially played everything. We can take a look though. Just as an example, let's see. We'll go up here. I'll save because we've got about 10 more minutes that we can run on this one. There we go. Yeah, we can even upgrade stuff. We just need more money, essentially. Everything's like a lot of money for the little amounts that you make. Why is it not going up? There we go. So then you can just grab your ore from here. Makes it a little easier. You can do more at one time instead of one at a time, up and down. But let me save. Let's fire up the Steam Deck and take just a quick look at it on there. Performance-wise, it wasn't horrible. It's not 60 frames per second, though. Let's see. Can we get... Can we get the Steam Deck up? Oh, wrong one. Wrong one again. There we go. And we'll try it with the controller. If it'll come up. Now, I could have been moving things around here when we were trying to get the Legion Go running. So give me 1 second to see which one is correct. What? Yep. Hey, welcome back, everybody. Sorry we lost power for a minute. The snow's kind of dropping off the lines or the trees, and it took out our power for a second. Unfortunately, it may happen again. Like, more than likely, this will be all day long. So I don't know how well we're going to fare for the rest of the stream, but we'll keep going. I mean, obviously. But let me, I've just got to remove windows and change them around and things like that. Because when the power goes down, it actually shuts down the monitors, but the PCs all stay up and running because I have those on UPS systems. But the monitors are not on those. So sometimes it takes a second for everything to connect, and then obviously Starlink to connect back up to the satellite. But we should be able to get back right to where we were. So we were trying to get the Steam Deck running. Let me find it here. Okay, sorry about that. We've got multiple people in the house today working. I am going to flip these, and we're going to try to figure out why we're not seeing the Steam Deck. Originally, I thought like the Steam Deck just took everything down. But that was not the case. The power did. The snow did. Yeah, the Steam Deck is able to be seen on that side. But I don't see it over here. Oh, there it is. Is that it? Okay, yeah, there's Steam Deck. For whatever reason, it was just having an issue finding it again. Okay, so we were looking at Blacksmith. We got like a few minutes. We'll take 4 minutes just to see what the performance looks like on here. And then we'll jump to the next game. So hopefully the power will hold, but it's likely that it will go down again, but we'll see. If it does go down, then I'll have to switch to the generator. It'll probably take a little bit longer than just a couple minutes to come back up. All right, there it is. Oh, I need to move my screen over here. There we go. Unfortunately, like I said, these are not built for controllers. So you have like until somebody builds a solution for it, you kind of have the mouse and keyboard controls, right? In that sense, there's not a real option for it otherwise. And the mouse and keyboard controls do not work really well on a regular controller. They work well on the Steam Deck because you can do stuff, but let's see if we can find... I don't think it supports gamepad. Pretty sure it does not. But let's try it. Yep, no. See, it does have the accelerometer that's built in the controller itself, so that actually might be a little bit better. No, it's not even that much better. You really need to play these with mouse and keyboard. It's not... Touchscreen does work, but it's definitely not going to be the best experience across the board. I'm going to see if we can go back in and find mouse and keyboard. The game will run. It's just really controlling it. That's the issue. Come on. There we go. Go down. There we go. Yep. And even there, I think on the Steam Deck it runs fine because you can use the touchpad. Yeah. Then we can go in and we can see it. It didn't save the... It didn't do the save, but we'll get in, just take a look at it really fast. There's not much to the game, like I said, and basically what you saw was the entire game. But you can see here, it does work with, like, when you do put, like, mouse and keyboard controls on, you can use the analog stick because they do have that mapped as, like, a default on there, on Steam Decks. But you can see we're getting... Not sure if it's on Epic still or not. Let's take a look. It is. So let's drop this down to, I think I can do it from here. No, it doesn't. It's really made, I'm going to step off just as actually, you know what? I'm going to run it directly from the Steam Deck. And I will jump off screen for a minute. So let's just make it easier on ourselves. Okay, there we go. So I'm going to drop all these down. There's not like a general, preset, so it takes a little bit of time to go through and move these down. We'll put them all on medium. Very tedious, just like the game. The simulator, it's like menu simulator. One more, there we go. I think I've got all that. Oh, VSync will turn off, yeah. Okay, so that should be all of our settings. So that's on medium. And we get like 40 to 50. I think we might get like close to 50 to 60, but you probably wouldn't be able to hold it. But it does play, and especially with the thumb pad, the touchpad, it plays very well at that point. You can use like jump with your X, remap some of your buttons. But the performance, like I said, 40 frames per second is what we'd be targeting. Yeah, we need to open this up, obviously. Press F, there we go. I had to find the right button on it. So now you can see you have access to the mine and so forth. So yeah, the game in general doesn't run poorly on Steam Deck. It doesn't run, the best, but it will run. It's really the control system is the issue for that device. So it just doesn't perform as well as what you'd want. So let me back up. We'll get out of here now. We'll go to our next game.